So Dave, we just passed a major milestone in session where all the policy bills needed to move out of the first chamber that they were introduced, or else they're technically dead for the year. So in addition to moving forward on those in the opposite chamber, legislators are turning their attention to the operating, capital, and transportation budgets. So there are a number of significant policy issues moving forward and fiscal issues that impact the city bottom line. So we wanted to give you all an update on what we're doing about them and what you can do from City Hall.
So in particular this year, we're starting to see serious consideration of some new policy initiatives, in particular on occupational diseases and tort liability, that we think have the potential to significantly increase costs and exposure for cities. The state has a structure where if a certain public employee, like a firefighter, gets a certain disease, it's presumed to be associated with their jobs, and they're provided with streamlined workers' compensation benefits. While this makes sense in a lot of cases, it also drives up costs, and the creation of a statutory presumption should be based on science if this is how they want to proceed. The state's also considering expanding city tort liability. Cities are often seen as having deep pockets when tragic accidents occur. So for instance, if something happens on our road, we could become more broadly liable. We're working with our allies in the legislature to find ways to reduce the exposure and potential costs of some of these ideas. We understand they're likely to move forward, so we have allies and others that we're trying to convince the legislature, how do we make these so that they're implementable?
So it's not all cost drivers, however, the legislature is considering. We've also seen some major bills moving on the human services and housing arena.
That's great.
Yeah, for instance, a major new revenue source to address homelessness has been moved out of the House with a bipartisan vote. Would be a critical new resource to address all these challenges that we're seeing on our city streets. We've also seen both chambers unanimously pass bills to promote the embedding and partnership with mental health professionals with our police, so that when we're contacting somebody with a behavioral health problem, we can get them the services they need rather than defaulting into the criminal justice system.
We've started to see a lot of success in that area.
Yeah, a number of cities have already led the way on this, and we're trying to convince the state to provide a partnership to increase that sort of behavior. And we've also seen a first-in-the-nation program pass out of the House that would create a statewide take-back system for unneeded medication, so folks can get this stuff
The stuff in my medicine cabinet.
Yeah, exactly. So you can get out of the medicine cabinet. There'll be a convenient collection location in every single city in the state.
That's great.
Paid for by the pharmaceutical industry. So that would be groundbreaking legislation if it moves forward in the Senate.
So now we're in the final 3-week sprint of the session. This is the time when we're talking to legislators. We hope you all are talking to legislators about the various policies that they're looking at moving, especially those that we've mentioned that add cost. Can there be ways to reduce those costs, minimize that exposure? And also, what's the balance between the kinds of new costs that are being considered to be put on cities, and what kind of resources do we have available to make this work? So it's very important for us to continue focusing on this, and for you at home to reiterate with your legislators the importance of making sure that that balance is appropriate and new responsibilities also have some new resources.
For more information on these or any of the other issues that we've been working on this year, stay tuned to the AWC website and make sure that you get our legislative bulletin.